How's you going, boys? Mike here. Welcome back to Grampie's workshop. Glad you're here today. You know what? We're back in the shop and got a little bit more work to do in this front wall, trying to finish it up. Yesterday I spent a lot of time cleaning the windows. Man, oh man, they were dirty. They were just, well, I never cleaned them since I built the shop. So anyway, yeah, I guess that's why they're dirty. But I got those all clean. But the windows have screens in them. And here's one of the screens. Now, when I bought these windows, they counted these screens as being the answer, but you can see here they're getting pretty rotten, eh? So what I'm going to do is change the screen today. So I have a long time ago, when we first put the deck on the front of the camp, I put a canvas room in the front of the camp to try to keep out of the bugs. That's what we were doing, so we could go sit out in the lake, on the what we call the lake room now, sit out there out of the bugs and still see the lake. So this canvas room that I built on there had screens in it. Well, the squirrels chewed holes in the canvas. Oh man, I hate squirrels. But anyway, well, the canvas room was ruined basically, so I took that off and we ended up building a semi-permanent room on the front of the camp, and we call that the lake room now. But anyway, those screen windows that were in the canvas room, I saved the screen out of those, of course. So that's what I have. I've got a bunch of pieces of that screen here. We're going to find some pieces to fit these windows, these two screens. I got two screens I have to repair, and we're going to repair those screens today. So let's get at that. So here's all the pieces of screen I have. And when I cut them out of the shelter, I marked the sizes on them. So this piece is 3x4 and whatnot. But anyhow, just going to put all these bundles aside. So I took this piece out. This was marked 4.5 by 6. And when I measure these screens, they're about 18 inches. About an 18-inch piece of screen by 31-inch piece of screen ought to fill this up pretty good. And I need two of those. So this screen is, it's got some rips in it. So I hopefully I'm going to be able to get, oh yeah, there's lots here. I should be able to get two pieces of screen to fit these windows. Alright, so first thing I want to do is, because the screen was just cut out, it's not like there's no real good factory edges on it that are nice and straight. They're all wavy. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set up with a little bit of a cutting board underneath me here, and I'm going to try and cut a straight edge on the screen. So I'll get set up and do that. So we're going to put my straight edge right here, and I'm going to look at the grain of the screen and try to line it up straight, or as straight as I can. I'm not going to spend a lot of time setting this up, but I want to try and make it as straight as I can get it. There, that doesn't look too bad there. Okay, so that's that edge. Now what I want to do is I'm going to flip this around like this. Probably is the best way to do it. And I want to do the same thing along here so I get a nice straight corner, right? This is not critical to replace the screen, that you have nice straight edges. I don't know, OCD maybe. There we go. So now I have kind of a halfway decent corner here. So this is going to be my screen, go this way. And then there's, so yeah, there's more than enough out there to make another screen. So I'm just going to set this up. I'm going to leave about, I don't know, an inch gap all the way around. So I'm going to cut it right here. So it's going to go about like that. So I'm going to want to cut this about here. Alright, so there's a nice piece of screen. What could you use that for? I don't know, maybe throw it out? No, I'll save it for something. Alright, so we have our screen ready to go here. Now, the way the screen is held in is with this little piping along the edge. So here's the end of it. I'm going to try and get it out. This piping may or may not be any good to reuse because the screens are like 20 or 20 years old. So this piping is probably hard as a rock. Alright, I'm definitely going to throw this screen out because it's rotten. Okay, while I have the screen out, what I'm going to do is take a little time and I'm going to clean up this frame because it's really, really dirty. And then we'll come back and put the screen in. So I've got this frame pretty clean. Could be a lot cleaner, I suppose. But anyway, we're going to try and put this screen on there. Just like that. And I'm going to try to reuse the old piping. It's a little bit hard, but you know, I think it'll work. This is the bottom side, so I'm going to put the piping and start it up in this corner and go that way with it. And what I have to put that piping in place, you can get these tools at any hardware store. It's just it's a fairly good sized wheel there, about 1.25 inches in diameter. It's got a little groove in it there. The idea is that you will get the piping in that groove, run along there, and force it into the opening here, in a little channel. This side, instead of the groove, it's like a rounded over one. So once it's in, you can push it down in place. I also have a plastic one, same thing, a groove on one side, rounded over in the other. Either tool will work. I'm going to start off with the plastic one. So you start by putting the screen, try to center it around the frame. The trick about doing this is to keep the screen, you got to keep the screen as tight as you can. So I was going to start here because I want to do the sides so I can pull it tight sideways. I don't know if that's the proper way to do it or not, but anyway. So we're going to start right there and we'll push that in place. And then we just hold this along here. The first piece, you know, usually goes in good. It's only after that that it gets tricky. And there you go, that one's in pretty good. So just push down on that again just to make sure that it's well seated. Then I think I'm going to skip the edge. I'm going to start that in this corner now. You want to pull the screen as tight as you can and then start the piping in the groove. The trick is not to get puckers in it, eh? No one wants a pucker in their screen. And then we'll do this last side. All right, so there's the screen in there. Now we're going to just take our knife and along the outside edge, we're going to cut the excess screen off. just like that. So there we have the screen replaced. And it's even pretty tight. So let's put it in the window, see what it looks like. So I apologize for the lighting today because it's so bright outside. But, oh, they're locked. Alright, so that goes up there. It doesn't stay up. You know, on these windows there's springs on each side to hold the window up. The one on this side broke. So that's why that's not being held up on its own. There you go. So I think that turned out pretty nice, eh? Went in a lot easier than I thought it was going to go in. And you know, that's black nylon UV protected screening, so that should last a good long time in there. Those other screens were over 15 years old, so they didn't owe me anything either. So, not a bad job. I'm going to go ahead and do the other screen now, get that set up and put in there. But it's a lot like doing the first one, so there's no sense showing that. So let me know in the comments if you've ever changed a screen and if you've had good luck doing that, because it's not that hard a job, I don't think. So thanks for watching. Don't forget, folks, thumbs up me. Hope you have a great week wherever you are, and we'll talk to you soon.